outdoor dining, and we were very close to the end. All over the town, so it's important to hear what's happening. If you want to get in touch with any of the councilmen or myself, just type in our last name at oakland-nj.org and you will get a response. Go to the website for a listing. I'm asking each of the council people, when you hear something tonight or in the future, when you hear public comment, that you make a note, and during your message, your council report, that's when you can add, or you could say to the resident, contact me, call me, or email me, and I will get a response to you. Councilman Talamini pointed this out to me at one of the meetings. I don't remember if it was my mind. I remember the last meeting or the meeting before, because what happened was someone typed the message in. They didn't go during the public portion, and they somehow typed a message in, and I didn't realize it. Without thinking twice, I read the message and started to answer, and it was Councilman Talamini who correctly pointed that out to me, that I too should be hearing all the rules that we set forth at our council meeting and keep the decorum. So I'm asking all of us, be patient, be courteous, and be respectful. And so when someone's speaking, it's so hard because there is a delay in speaking. And I know this from when I am at meetings, I know this when I'm in court, everybody's talking and you don't realize you start talking, but they're still talking. So we have to learn to just be a little more patient. The last thing is, it's very important to do the census. I know I sound like a broken record, and if you're not older like me, you don't know what I'm talking about with records. But Pat knows what I'm talking about.
Oh!
Whoa! But,
Wow.
well, you too. Come on. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you must do your census. It helps us. It's so important, and your privacy is there. No one is asking you for your private security information. All you have to do is go to the website, www.census.gov, was it 2020census.gov, or go to the Borough website, click on the Census website, or go to the Borough website and make a phone call with the phone number if you can't go to the website. Answer the questions, do the census. By doing the census, it only takes a few minutes. It's so easy, and it helps with funding. It helps with us getting funding for schools, for everything our town could be asking for from federal funding. It helps the town, it helps the county, and helps the state. So please, just take a few minutes. Actually, after the council meeting tonight, you're on Zoom anyway. You're on your computer. Just click on the Borough website, go to the Census website, answer the few questions, and we will all say thank you. And with that, motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Okay. If you are a member,
Okay.
if you are a member of the public and you wish to provide public comment, please click on the raise your hand icon under participants. Click on your name and raise hand, and you will be unmuted and acknowledged. Thank you.
This is the delay.
Mayor, resident Rachel Gregory.
Hello, Rachel Gregory. You have to give your name and your address.
This is Rachel Gregory, 2 Kiowa Terrace. Hi, I had actually sent in an email question, but I don't know if it was received. All my questions have to do with the sewer issues that are currently going on in the Manitou section and that area. My question was if there was a written agreement between the town and the residents on the maintenance and usage of the sewer system that we can get public access to. I looked at my sewer bill and there's really not much information on there.
All right, as I said earlier, just go on the website, ask the question to us, or somebody from this Water and Sewer Committee will answer it later on in their message, but it will be answered. Just click on the website or email any of us. Thank you.
Specifically is the liaison who is working on this issue with the residents.
That's levy@oakland-nj.org. Okay.
Okay, and in what council meetings was the sewers discussed in the past? I wanted to get a copy of the minutes from those meetings, and I thought you might know where to begin, what month or what year. I can start looking for that.
If you contact the borough, contact Lisa for an open request. Or just contact levy@oakland-nj.org.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, you can give her my phone number if you like.
Yeah, I'm not giving out your phone number in public.
Everybody has it.
Oh, well then you'll email her. Email levy@oakland-nj.org. Levy, Levy @oakland-nj.org, or Bialy@oakland-nj. I'm so confused now. @oakland-nj.org. Email both of them. They're both on the committee. Okay, next.
Mayor, next up, Jim Folkerts.
Hi, Jim.
Good evening, Mayor Schwager and Council. I have to start my video. Okay. Good evening, Mayor Schwager and Council. Thanks for your time. Jim Folkerts, 4 Seminole Avenue. I wanted to comment on the prior discussion at a prior meeting about the garbage pickup. I know it's a pretty emotional topic for a lot of people, but I wanted to speak on for myself and behalf of others that don't have a garage or a place to store their trash. And my, objection or concern with going to once a week pickup for trash, because if we miss a week, we face the risk of, at my residence, of the trash sitting outside. And not only with warmer climates approaching us, impacting, the smell and deterioration of the garbage, it's also a concern about wildlife in the area, which we all know has increased greatly over the years. There's been a bear in our area or thereabouts, where you can see, we've seen the remnants of his activity strewn across the street and whatnot. So I just wanted to remind the council that there are residents in town that don't have the option of keeping their trash secure. And again, if, going to a once a week pickup for, picking up the trash would definitely cause some issues for people like myself.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Next.
Mayor, no one further.
Motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was there a second? Lisa, was there a second?
I didn't hear a second.
Who's seconding it
Second.
now? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have minutes. July 16th, 2020. Absent, in case you forgot, was me, Councilman Salamini, and Councilman Ben Eck. Council President Levy had run the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
Abstain. I was not there.
Okay, the next one is the July 22nd, 2020 minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
Abstain again.
You're abstaining even though you were there?
Sorry, Mayor. I'm juggling. My other kid is sick, and I'm juggling the newborn right now.
And congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
old is he now?
He's 2 weeks old.
What's his name?
Joseph.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we have special meeting of July 27th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, the following councilmen were not present: Bialy, Talamini, and Van Eck. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Abstain.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
This was the meeting. Which meeting was this? I don't think I
This
missed
is
the
July
meeting.
27th. You're listed as not being there.
he came in during the meeting.
Yes, I
Sorry.
did.
So
So
you could
moved.
sort of
Yes.
say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at the agenda and it said.
It
doesn't
says
have
yes
any-
to half.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I got a
Councilman-
partial yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
All right. Like I had confused the two meetings. That's the one I meant to abstain
Correct.
on.
So you're
That was
abstaining.
actually Joseph's birthday. That's the day he was born, which is why I
Okay,
missed the
well.
meeting.
That's a good reason. All right, we have a meeting for July 22nd. It is the executive session. If there's any discussion, will be held during executive session. Roll call. I'm sorry, motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
Yes.
There is a raffle license request.
Mayor, you skipped over exec for July 8th.
I thought I did that,
No.
because I have. Sorry. July 8th, and absent was Talamini, was the only one absent. Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
Yes.
Okay, there's a raffle license request by the Knights of Columbus. It's license RL1388. And it is for the Knights of Columbus on December 18th, 2020 from 7 to 11 p.m. It looks like it's 50-50 cash prize. And it's for charitable community affairs. And if there's anyone who wants to abstain, this would be the time to do it. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Abstain. I'm a member of the Knights.
Councilman Van Ack.
I abstain. I'm also a member of the Knights.
You know, I have to abstain also. I'm a member of the Knights. I'm sorry.
Listen, you know what? It's very difficult to think and to participate in Zoom
At the same
and to
time,
keep coordinating. Yes.
that's why I quit chewing gum during council meetings.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right, now we have some resolutions. I'll read them off. If there's any wish to pull out, we'll do so. Resolution 2190 is to hire a code enforcement officer trainee, would be Vincent Dice at $20 per hour, and it'll be part-time.
So moved.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a consent agenda, John.
Okay.
Resolution 2200, authorize the Municipal Alliance Grant Application FY 2021. And this authorizes the Borough Council to submit an application for the fiscal year 2021 for the deeder, $3,579.47, cash match $894.87, and in-kind $2,684.60. 2201, authorizing the execution of a settlement agreement between the Borough of Oakland and Fair Share Housing Center. And it's in the matter of the application of the Borough of Oakland, a municipal corporation of the state of New Jersey, in Superior Court, New Jersey, docket number BER-L-006359-15, with respect to the Oakland's affordable housing obligation. The settlement agreement will determine the parameters of the borough's affordable housing obligations for the prior round and third round, 1999 to 2025. Resolution 2202. It's a resolution of the Borough of Oakland authorizing the purchase of rock salt. I know it's hard to believe winter. Rock salt through the 2020 New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance pricing system. Bergen County bid 19-44, Chemical Equipment Labs of DE Inc. And the Chief of Financial, our CFO, has certified the availability of funds, and it's for an amount not to exceed $75,000. 2203 is to authorize Agnoli Engineering Wilson Street Spillway inspection for engineering services, an amount not to exceed $1,650. Excuse me. Agnoli Engineering has submitted all the paperwork to comply with the Borough pay-to-play. The contract is for professional service, which no public bidding is required. CFO has certified funds, and it's specified from the proposal dated July 17, 2020. And Resolution 2020-204, this has come from the Recreation Commission. And it is to refund families for refund of recreation fees for a total amount of $200. It can't be just $284. I don't know what that is. It's more than that, but I'll read each name because there's something wrong there. And I apologize to the families if I mispronounce your name. DeRisi family, $78 rec baseball. Bergamini family, $93 rec softball. Rocco family, $113 rec softball. Matusevich family, $160 rec soccer. Caulfield family, $182 season 2 summer camp. Wands family, $182 season 2 summer camp. Bajakian family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Cox family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Bayani family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Darcy family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Labuddy family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Ribbon family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Pallarino family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Lil family, $280 session 1 camp 2 kids. Orithinair family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Stankard family, $546 session 2 camp 3 kids. Ross family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Luchanitz family, $182 session 2 camp. Saletti family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Gilead family, $364 session 2 camp 2 kids. Beck family, $182 session 2 summer camp. Pearson family, $113 rec softball. Rubinacker family, $78 rec baseball. And the Havel family, $125 rec basketball. And the last one is Resolution 2205, authorizing the preparation and filing of an application for financial assistance to the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank, known as the I-Bank. And it has to do with Phase 1 sanitary sewer improvement project, which consists of decommissioning the 3 existing wastewater treatment plants and installing 3 pumping stations and associated force mains to convey flow to Northwest Bergen County Utilities Authority, and David Young, our CFO, has authorized payment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any wish to pull out? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack.
Yes.
Work session. This is Mr. Kern's regulation of chickens. I assume it came from our Board of Health. Thank you, Councilman Pignatelli.
It did, Mayor. You have a report in your packet entitled Board of Health Suggestions for a Chicken Ordinance. At a meeting that Pat can go into further, the Board of Health discussed the issue. They received a lot of input from our Animal Control Officer, Carol Tyler, and they provided a set of recommendations that they'd like you to consider in crafting a revision to the current ordinance if we're going to expand where and how the keeping of chickens is allowed. So, Pat, I don't know if you want to go into some of the specifics of that and of the board's discussion.
Well, I have a question first, Pat.
Yes.
How do you stop a chicken 5 egg-laying hen? It's just 5 hens, not that they can only lay 5 eggs.
No, right, it's 5
Okay.
hens.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, a chicken will only, I believe a chicken will only lay eggs for 3 years. I believe that's what they were saying. But what this says is the limit is 5 hens and for its owner consumption only. If a hen stops laying eggs, which they all do, you can't just add another egg laying hen. You have to wait till that hen expires. No males. We don't allow any roosters. The waste must be removed daily and done by a licensed animal waste company. And the plans should be submitted to the health department and the zoning officer. And there's a $25 fee, annual renewal fee. The only thing, and I'm sorry, this hurricane or whatever that we just had really set me for a loop. But I believe, didn't we have discussion about that the hen house should not be located closer than, I thought we said 50 feet to a house.
Well, I think the problem was even Councilman Levy lives near somebody with chickens, and was that brought up?
I think it can't be closer than, we said it couldn't be closer than 50 feet to a house other than the property house.
Correct, right.
Because that would have basically eliminate half the properties in Oakland.
Can I make a comment on this, Mayor?
Please, we were all talking about chickens.
What we provided was the ordinance from Eatontown, which established standards. And if those standards were met for the chicken coop, then permits would be issued. What has been put in this suggestion, it says, it is suggested that applicants should apply to the Board of Adjustment to have the chicken coop and chickens and notify neighbors within 200 feet. That wouldn't be applicable. The structure would be designed to fit within a certain area. If it doesn't, then they would go to the Board of Adjustment. I don't know of any process that would require a permitted accessory use to go to the Board of Adjustment if it complied with the standards. And I understand the reasoning behind it is that they want the neighbors to be aware of it, but this is a hybrid. This is like a zoning ordinance to permit the use as accessory and establish certain standards. So if it meets the standards, you get a permit. If it doesn't meet the standards, then you go to the appropriate board to get an approval. So I think that's something to be considered.
Mayor, I thought you had mentioned, Mayor, that you thought people should be notified.
Yes.
Wasn't it you? Yeah.
They should be.
So do you want to put that in?
But I'll see what everybody else is. But my question is, how often are they inspected?
Yearly, once a year.
Oh, okay.
And who inspects them? The Board of Health?
No, it says so. It says somebody who is with animal husbandry knowledge.
Well, it probably is going to be Carol Tyler from the animal control,
Oh, okay.
but the inspector could also, but.
So, I'm sorry, Pat, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, because I think this all started because I think it's somebody who lives around the corner from me, their child.
Correct.
Right.
Raised some chickens.
Correct.
And I guess my question is, are we starting to get a little out of hand with this? I mean, and again, I don't know, you know, like the animal, having the waste removed by an animal waste removal company. I thought isn't that, I mean, and I don't know, isn't that like compost material?
Makes great manure and compost.
Yeah.
What do you do with chicken waste?
Well, apparently you call it chicken waste removal company. Anybody want to team up on being one of those?
No, thank you.
Pat, I actually thought I saw somewhere in the summary that Carol Tyler said that it should not be composted for some reason. I assume then it would just have to be put out with the trash.
Yeah, I think it should be put out with the trash and not compost it. Composting could, you know, first of all, when you compost, it does create heat, and with manure, it would become quite odorous. So it should be disposed of daily in the regular garbage.
But don't people compost all the time?
Yes, but you know, you have to, there's composting and there's composting. Composting, the correct way is that it's to be mixed daily and turned daily. Some people don't do that. They just dump it in a pile and just let the pile keep getting bigger. But to compost correctly, you have to turn it and add oxygen, and you also have to add other vegetative material, and you have to add soil, because the soil has the microbes in it that causes the decomposition. So
wow.
Just throwing it in the pile does not do it.
Got it. Okay. Question answered. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions about an ordinance for chickens?
No, but that was really impressive, Pat. Thank you. Seriously.
So
I compost. That's why I know.
So Brian.
Yes.
That's the next step.
I just want to make sure, are we requiring an appearance before the Board of Adjustment, or are we requiring that notice be provided to property owners who apply for a zoning permit?
I think they should just be notified. I think that would be, I mean, the zoning board to have to come before the zoning board.
Well, yeah, I don't think they should go before a zoning board, because I could be incorrect, but I think when you appear before a zoning board, you have to appear with an attorney. Because
not unless you're a corporation.
Not necessarily, but it's usually time consuming and expensive.
Yes.
What about if they had to appear before the Board of Health? They're more knowledgeable on what should be done than anybody else. What do you think?
I think they should still get a zoning permit, and this is the requirements, and the zoning officer will issue the permit, and it will expedite the process. If they don't meet
That's
the
right,
standards,
because they're going to inspect, correct?
Correct.
All right. Anybody against this? All right, let's move on. Thank you, Brian.
Linda, Mayor, what if somebody runs afoul of the ordinance?
Wait, I get it, afoul.
Yeah, but what if they do? I mean, is it a ticket? Is it a fine? Is it?
It's a violation of the zoning ordinance, will result in a summons, probably a notice, and if you don't comply with the notice, then a summons.
Yeah.
Little question.
Brian, I imagine we would want to make the health department as the enforcing agency on this.
I'm going to think about that. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll wait to hear from Brian.
I'll put it in the ordinance that I do.
All right, now we have the proposed amendment to Bergen GIF bylaws.
Yes, thank you. We were notified by the Bergen GIF, that's our joint insurance fund, The executive committee had approved a bylaw amendment, and pursuant to the membership procedures, it now goes to the member municipalities for ratification. The bylaw amendment concerns a section that's meant to avoid conflicts of interest between risk managers and what the bylaws refer to as servicing organizations or the fund professionals, where you can't be retained by the fund as a service provider and also serve as a risk manager to one of the towns to avoid conflicts of interest. This amendment would carve out a limited exception to that in the event where there was a merger or change of ownership or control between a risk management consultant and one of these servicing organizations, in cases where that merger or acquisition happened after the risk manager was already working for a certain town, so the town wouldn't have to change risk managers, and it would be limited to that circumstance only. It arose apparently out of something, the acquisition of a risk management company late last year or early this year. So it's limited, and I think it's just meant to kind of address a situation that had occurred recently. And so it comes with a recommendation that we move to ratify it. And if everybody's in agreement, we'll have the required resolution on the next meeting.
Okay. All right.
Any questions or comments about that? No? Okay.
Thank you, Rich.
Yep.
And shared service renewal, Bergen County Health contract, that's with Ansel Asmar.
Right, so we're under contract with Bergen County through a shared service agreement. They are essentially our health agency. We have the Board of Health. The Department of Health itself is really the Bergen County Health Department, and they provide a variety of services: health officer services, communicable disease services, the registered environmental health specialist, which is the health inspector that does the food inspections, septic inspections, bathing inspections, a whole litany of services. Our contract is up at the end of this year, and we received communication from the county that due to the COVID-19 situation, what they want to do is just extend everybody's contract for a year under the same terms, so there would be no price increase. Everything that we have for 2020 would carry over to 2021, and then we would receive a new form of agreement at some point next year for consideration.
No price increase.
Did we lose Councilman Pignatelli? Did I lose him?
Pardon?
Is he here?
No, he's over on the other screen.
Yeah.
What is the Board of Health?
Kevin bounced him.
Comment?
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Is there any comment from the Board of Health on this?
We have not met during the summer, so really that should be taken up at the meeting in September. But no increase in the cost of the contract is music to my ears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everything basically, it's just status quo. It's a one-year extension, so we're recommending it, and we'll see what they come back with next year.
Got it. Thank you. Any new business? Old business? No business?
Something for old business?
Yes.
I heard a resident complained about music after a certain hour, and I just wanted to bring that up. We passed the outdoor dining resolution. I know this is all evolving, and I know we have a noise ordinance on the books. I encourage the residents that I've heard from to call immediately, same as you said earlier, Mayor, with the masks. I mean, it's really all I could recommend, and want to bring that up if anybody else has any other thoughts or heard similar concerns from people on Long Hill Road and other parts of town.
Thank you, Councilman. The chief had said, I had talked to the chief of police, because like I said, I usually get these emails on Monday mornings, and the chief said they have to call the police at that time. And that's what I tell the residents. And please, whoever you speak to, Councilman, they have to call them. 337-6171.
That's exactly what I recommended. Thank you, Mayor.
And if the dispatcher says it's not my problem, you say yes. The police chief and the council, the elected officials say yes. You have to get an officer out there. But yes, thank you. You notice the tiki bar is closed. Anybody
That
else?
sounds like a song.
Anybody else in old business? All right, who wants to go first? Because everybody moves around. Who wants to speak first? Well,
I can do it
Councilman
short.
Bennett, why don't you speak first?
Okay.
Councilman Bennett, just in case the baby comes.
I got a little break, as you can see.
Oh, yeah, so you speak now.
Planning board, there is no report. Did not meet, not meeting this month of August. There's nothing to report. Communications Commission, we just want to let everybody know we're looking for volunteers in a couple different areas. A newsletter committee would love to have more stories on great things happening in Oakland or interesting stories that you may have that could be published in our monthly newsletter. To contact Liz Laurenti at oaklandcrossroads@gmail.com. They do a great job with that, and we're always looking for more content. Same thing with the commission's different positions that we have with photography and editing, writing, television production, graphics. Anybody with these communication skills, we'd love for you to join. You can email me anytime, vanek@oakland-nj.org. We'd love to have you. It's a great group of volunteers and Oakland residents. I promise you'll enjoy the company and do something good for our town using your skills.
Councilman, could,
yes.
Are your meetings advertised for Zoom so that someone who's interested maybe could attend one of your meetings?
Of course, that's a great question. We do Zoom meetings, and here's the best part. They're every other month, not every month. So it's a much more manageable time commitment for anybody who's worried that it might get overwhelming. We're just looking for you to contribute some of your skills and talents to help the town if you have that interest, or if you're just interested in learning. We've got a lot of talented people that'd be happy to mentor and coach and teach you as well. So the next meeting on that note is September 14th at 7:30, and make sure you look to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on our other social media channels. The Recreation Commission concluded last week an incredibly successful summer camp program. Round of applause to all of our staff and volunteers and members of the commission who pulled that together in a unprecedented time and an unprecedented year. And although we did have one COVID incident, it was only one because of the measures and the safety that was taking place, proven to work when it's done right. So congratulations to everybody. The individual only suffered minor symptoms and is fully recovered, and no one else was tested positive. So way to go.
Excellent.
We will be wrapping up softball and baseball seasons next week. I know there's games going on tonight. And the same thing as camp, just safely done, successful. Way to go to the coaches, all the parents and volunteers involved. Did a great job in a uncertain time by doing the right thing and following guidelines and protecting our kids and our adults who volunteer. Football, cheer, and soccer are going to begin in the next couple of weeks. The commission created a great COVID safety procedure for those sports as well. They'll all follow state and CDC guidelines, and we've shared these policies with our entire community. Winter sports signups generally start in September. A few of them are relying on school gyms, and there are those availabilities. Basketball, wrestling programs are currently in limbo. Again, if you have any questions related to this, vanek@oakland-nj.org. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to everybody.
Thank you. And once again, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
All right, we'll go around. I see Councilman Levy.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. The Oakland Shade Tree.
Like
No, but I'm up there.
no, you're down there for me.
I'm up there. The Oakland Shade Tree Commission is looking for a few members. We did, I think, Brian, you got the copy of the new ordinance proposal?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so hopefully we'll have a new shade tree ordinance by the next meeting to look over and discuss. I'll distribute it as soon as I get it back from Brian. And the Flood Commission has not met since pre-COVID, so we have nothing to report there. And I think that's it for me today.
That's it. Thank you. Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Our Environmental Commission could not meet because of the power outage and unavailability of Zoom. So we did not meet. So there's no report there. The Board of Health will meet in September and review the actions that had to be taken this past summer when the board was not in session. I also want to reiterate what the mayor said about the census. This involves tens of billions of dollars, and it's extremely important for everybody in Oakland to complete that, the census. We could get money for our schools, our EMS services, which includes police, fire, first aid, and we could get equipment for the DPW. It's tens of billions of dollars. So please complete the census. It's extremely important for our future here in Oakland. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Going up, next is Councilman Bialy.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. On the senior issues, Ariel has a mix of in-person, Zoom only, and hybrid programs available. These are on the calendar, and the August calendar is available online and at the Senior Center. If anyone would like to attend in-person classes, please call or email the Senior Center to register in advance. If you'd like to be added to the email list to receive the Zoom links for online classes, they can reach out as well at 201-405 or seniors@oakland-nj.org. If anyone would like to borrow any games or puzzles to bring home, they can come by the center by appointment to pick things up. All items borrowed will be quarantined for 7 days and or sanitized upon return. A new program has begun that will continue to run monthly through the county's Division of Senior Services. There will be an offering of private appointments for anyone who needs assistance with navigating Medicare through SHIP, State Health Insurance Program, with a state certified counselor. The next date will be Monday, September 21st. Appointments will begin at 9:30 and run up to 45 minutes. They're on a first-come, first-served basis and will enroll in the next month if they fill up. If anyone is interested in learning more or setting up an appointment, they can contact Ariel at the Senior Center at 201-405-7731. A flyer with additional information is available on the Oakland website and to pick up at the Senior Center. As a reminder, we are in the office Monday through Friday and available to help anyone connect who needs resources for seniors, including but not limited to food, transportation, Medicare, and health care. They can reach the same number, 201-405-7731. I just received a late notice from Ariel that the bus pickup will be resuming on Tuesday at the Senior Center. Shopping next week starts at 9 a.m. If anyone would like to take the bus to ShopRite, they can call to sign up at the Senior Center. In addition, the bus will also drop off and pick up at other locations within Oakland by appointment if available. This includes hairdresser, doctors, library, and a flyer with the detailed information, including safety precautions, are available at the Senior Center. And in response to, I asked Ariel to do an overview response pickup from the seniors on the garbage issue, and she spoke with groups of seniors as they became available, and the feedback received was that they would all rather keep the 2 days to pick up, and the cost saving wasn't worth the cut of a day, and if the savings were higher, they would consider it. And as far as the alternate garbage cans, this was 100% across the board. They all felt that the larger cans would be too difficult to move, especially in bad weather or if they had a steep driveway. They also mentioned storage, as the resident said earlier, that storage of a garbage can of that size would be difficult for those with small garages. Please let anyone, and I've had several emails regarding the same issue, and they all seem to come up with the same circumstance for not wanting the one-armed bandits. On the DPW side, street lighting. After reviewing recommendations from the Oakland Police Department, our Department of Public Works has submitted a work order voucher to Rockland Electric Company to upgrade 17 of our existing incandescent streetlights to the new energy-efficient LED fixtures. And since the program began in 2015, the borough has upgraded more than 75 streetlights at no cost to our residents. Our focus has been on school routes, poorly lit areas, or intersections, along with areas recommended by our concerned citizens. The work on the 2020 list of LED fixtures upgrades is scheduled to begin in October. Yard waste collection. I know I've been getting calls and people have been stopping off by my house saying, when are we going to get the streets cleaned up from all the yard waste from the storm? And obviously, the sanitation company that we currently contract with has had some difficulties, not only with the equipment breaking down, but with employees coming to work. So it is an issue that we must deal with in the future. But as far as what we have on the streets now, they have promised to be picked up by Thursday or Friday. So just be patient, and I'm sure it'll be gone by the end of the week. Just want to let you know that during the storm, myself, the mayor, Bob Knapp, and several others from town were on the phone daily with the conference calls from Rockland Electric, getting an update. And we also had a meeting over in the DPW building, and the Department of Public Works, along with the entire borough, would like to thank OEM coordinator Roy Bauberger for his countless hours working through and leading up to the storm and after it passed. Roy was DPW's main point of contact and was able to locate any available Rockland crew members that then lead them to all the water distribution locations that were left without power. Thanks a lot, Roy, for all you've done. So it was a tremendous storm. In fact, it was labeled by Rockland as the second worst storm since Sandy. And the main crux of the matter, from what we found out, was that one of the main big steel towers at the Waldwick and Allendale substation, those are the towers that go at 400, 500 feet. One of them twisted in the storm, and it ripped a distribution line and it ripped a transmission line. And we're now being fed from an alternate location, although they're working on getting the original problem fixed, and we'll be back on course to get our regular transmission of electricity, but no one will notice it as they do it. It'll be transparent as far as the switch over back to our normal source of power. And everyone finds out when we have power outages what you need, and generators came in handy this week. I was able to borrow my son-in-law's because his power didn't go off that long, and I was able to get it. But I have a little aid for anybody who doesn't have power, doesn't have a backup, or has a backup. But there on Amazon, you can pick up a lantern. It's called an AYL. They cost about $15 or $16. They take 3D batteries, and it lights up a room, and it's able to stay on without changing batteries for 6 straight days. So if you buy like 3 or 4 of them, you can put them in all the rooms in your house at night, and you won't have to worry about light, because I'm talking about it lights up the whole room. It's an LED light. Again, it's AYL lantern, and it's available on Amazon. That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Knapp. You have to unmute yourself. You did.
All right. So from the police department, the Oakland Police would like to announce a new community outreach and involvement program called Project Spotlight. Community enhancement and increasing the quality of life is a high priority for the police department. The purpose of Project Spotlight is to provide Oakland residents with an opportunity to identify a problem or a concern in their neighborhood and bring it to the attention of the police. The issue should be a problem that is capable of being solved by police presence, enhanced police visibility, or police enforcement of a motor vehicle law or a borough for Project Spotlight would be a speeding issue on a specific street, consistent disregard of a traffic control device and or sign, not following the proper overnight parking procedure, or other quality of life issues. The results of the project will be reported back to the resident, and in certain circumstances, the results will be advertised on the police department's Facebook page. For more information about Project Spotlight, visit the police department's page on the Borough website and click the Project Spotlight tab. Thank you for assisting the police department in making Oakland safe. Also, the Oakland Police would like to thank all of the residents for their patience and perseverance during the last storm. Due to the town-wide power outage, officers were diligently working to ensure the residents of Oakland and everyone driving on the roadways were safe as possible. During the most severe 4-day period, the police department responded to 100 storm-related calls for service in addition to their normal workload. The types of calls included welfare checks on residents, traffic/road hazards, wires down, trees down, and other storm-related issues. Temporary traffic control measures were put in place throughout the town to control traffic at traffic lights that were inoperable. Officers coned and taped off areas or entire roadways that were deemed impassable, dangerous. And the PD stayed in constant contact with the Oakland OEM personnel and Rockland Electric to assist in the power restoration efforts, and did their best to provide accurate updates on the police department's Facebook page while bouncing between one call for service to the next. Officers who helped residents deal with property damage, as well as a number of other personnel issues which were caused by the storm and power outage. So the chief says thank you to everyone for that. I just have a small report from OEM. Bless Boy's report was, this was the worst response to a small event. Orange and Rockland did not hold up to their agreement that we put a lot of time and effort into, and that was going back, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. We had a big meeting with O&R in the borough of Oakland, and it was mayors and representatives from the northwest part of Bergen County, and it was a complete failure on OEM's part. I'm sorry, on O&R's part. OEM will reach out to all department heads and have discussions with all personnel in reference to the storm. We'll have a debriefing and critique with all department heads and the mayor and council, and invite O&R to another meeting and create an after action report, take all necessary actions needed to strengthen the weakness and improve the strengths. So just on a personal note, I want to assure all the residents that our emergency services, being police, fire, OEM, DPW, and first aid, were well prepared days before this storm. It may not seem it to some people, but we really skated this storm. We normally get slammed with poles down, trees down, wires down, and my personal opinion is the mountain saved us this time. And from Franklin Lakes east got walloped. Franklin Lakes, Wyckoff, Ridgewood, and so on down that way, they got hit hard. We had 3, maybe 4 streets closed temporarily. Franklin Lakes had over 57 streets closed. So it was, as much as we didn't have power for 4 days, it was not so much a cause of within the borough. So as far as Oakland's emergency services are concerned, we were spot on, we were ready. Fire-wise, we responded to, I'm going to say 20-something calls, a lot of CO calls, people that run generators, as John just spoke about. Please don't put them in your garage. You will die. Carbon monoxide kills, and you won't know it, but you will die. Keep them outside your garage, keep the exhaust pointed away, and do not put them under an open window, because the exhaust will go in the open window. So it's really just a lot of it's common sense, but people don't think when they're panicking. They put things in one place. Maybe they meant to move it. Something else came up. They didn't move it. Next thing you know, we have a problem. So the last thing from a public safety standpoint is Kevin Boswell and I have spoke, and we've been in touch with his representative from the governor's office and the DOT, and we will be having a I'm meeting within the next week or two to shore up some of the issues with 286. Once
they do have if you have been out of OR that's the website www.oru.com and to get a claim form.
Barbara?
We should still be streaming live over the internet.
It's fixed. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're up to open for public comment. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, just so you're aware, Mayor, there still is no video.
Just
audio.
Is there audio?
Oh, video's back. Now you're good.
Okay, so we're open to the public.
Mayor, first up, Mike Rose.
Michael Rose, are you there?
I'm trying to unmute. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. How you doing? Thank you all for being here, of course, every other week. Just real quick questions about some of the parts of the meeting that I was curious about. When it came down to the chicken waste, we're asking that if a particular resident has 5 chickens or a couple of chickens, that he picks up that waste every single day. But yet we're also saying that we won't pick up your waste except once a week now in town. So what is that person supposed to do with that resident? Is he just supposed to dump that, or is he supposed to bag it and store it on the side of his garage? Which I think would stink. I think it is high in nitrogen and can be used for fertilizer, but that's just an opinion. Makes big cucumbers and tomatoes. Kevin Boswell, Mayor, I'd like to know if I could possibly get a survey from Boswell Engineering for Station Park. I've been hitting a brick wall, and all I need is a survey, and I have people that want to donate the time and the money to create a beautiful centerpiece in town with a nice clock, a new flagpole, and a few other things. But we just can't seem to get past the very first step of that, and that is to get a survey that we probably already have somewhere in our system somewhere. Maybe Boswell Engineering can help us with that. I tried to contact John Jaminik. He did tell me he was going to get me one for a fee. I have no problem paying for that. I don't see why I should pay for that. I think the Boswell Engineering should give us that survey. I think they already have it in their files. I was wondering if in the census, in regards to the census, if the town gets any kind of high-level reports from the state in participation, so that perhaps maybe we could advertise or send something out on Facebook or do something to promote not only the census, but the committees that are currently in need of certain volunteers. There's probably about 26 people on this meeting right now. And being in town for such a long period of time, I never see a request for volunteers, and was wondering how we go about actually asking for volunteers. In my attempt to become part of Oakland Council, I've learned that a lot of people really want to help this town. And I think that's absolutely a splendid thing. Everybody has a lot of different opinions, but there's really a lot of good people that want to help. And they've come up with some splendid ideas on basic little things that can help us fix things out. Generators, Mr. Knapp. You know what? You really touched on a really sore subject for a lot of people, because everybody wanted to have generators, but then a lot of people started to complain about the noise levels of the generators. And what you brought up about carbon monoxide is really a very true statement. People could die from carbon monoxide. I was in the fire protection industry for 35 years. I know it very well. I was wondering if the town could possibly form some sort of ordinance that would perhaps give direction,
what was the word?
To our residents about how far a generator should be from the house, about how it should be positioned. I was just wondering if there was an ordinance on the books for that. And if not, I think that maybe we should have one. And my last little doohickey was, all right, there was a comment on Facebook this week from one of the councilmen that really kind of chewed you guys up a little bit, and I hope you guys are working through that together. I would recommend, if you want to just hang out and have a beer, since you guys like to do that sometimes, come over to my house and we'll straighten that out if you haven't done so already. I think airing of public dismay to our town doesn't show that you guys are working together. And there's a lot of people that currently don't think you work together. So I hope that you just kind of pull that a little piece together. You should all have great respect for one another. You've been sitting and working together for a long time. It's good to have a difference of opinion, but honestly, you have to sometimes fold, and sometimes you have to give in, but then sometimes you also have to put your foot down, but you have to get along. If you don't get along, we're not going to get things done in this town that need to get done. There's a lot of very, very serious commitment, and people love this town. And they're worried about downtown. They're worried about the safety, the speed in the streets. They're worried about trash. I have a simple solution that'll give us a recycling center that I would love to talk to somebody about online that I think would benefit the town. And it can also help us with the 1 day a week waste pickup up. And John, if that's you, I'd love to talk to you about that. And that's about it for me. That's about it. Thank you very much for the ability to do this and to have my speak and to be able to say things and so people can hear me. Thank you very much.
Michael, I wrote down that you asked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. By tomorrow, you'll have 5 answers.
I would appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. No, thank you. Who's next? Michael?
Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Pay the bills.
Got a second?
Second.
Everybody? All right,
Aye.
bills to be paid is Councilman Knapp.
Bills already paid $2,890,797.01. Bills to be paid $398,531.74. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Knapp,
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Van Ack,
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next meeting will be held right here on Zoom, August 26, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. Everybody go home, be safe. Well, some of you are home already. But please be safe, and until next time, good night.
Right.
Good night.